following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Brother Mike back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Shout out to all of our friends on KXXT Christian Radio. We've been together for, 18 years now. God bless you today. DarkSkyRadio.com. Thank you for tuning in. Love having you aboard. Today's Bible study, Homeschooling Ahead for America. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on? Wait till you hear about what the public schools are up to in this great country of ours. You're not going to believe your ears. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're in Central Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road, in the heart of Maricopa County, Arizona. We have 2 services every week. You'll notice that on the website, hardcorechristianity.com. Thursday night is our healing room. Brother Rick and the Hardcore Ministry team are blowing this thing out, 7 p.m. local time. That service is also broadcast on our teaching channel, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. Same as our Friday night service. That's my teaching service, my radio listeners, 7 p.m. Teaching the Word of God, and healing and deliverance follows the teaching. Don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website. She'll be happy to list your house for you for sale. She loves to work with born-again Christians. Don't forget about the PayPal button. Please send us another donation, as you have for the last 18 years, and it has been working great. Thank you for your partnership. I've never been late on a radio payment. Thank God for you. Homeschooling ahead in Arizona. The COVID-19 hoax has swept the country. It has brought the country to its knees. This is worse than the Great Recession and is now bordering on getting close to the Great Depression of the Roaring '20s. It's unbelievable. Wanted to read a survey for you. Children are no longer allowed to go to school all over the country, and people have been trying their best to homeschool them. But an interesting survey came out from Real Clear Opinion Research. Just came out like a week or so ago. I thought it was kind of interesting. They interviewed over 2,100 registered voters. And they discovered several interesting things in this survey about how homeschooling had not only obviously increased dramatically since the COVID-19 hoax, but many of the people that were surveyed are going to keep their children out of public schools when it all resumes later, probably after this summer. The schools will probably be closed until next school year. For example, it showed that 40% of the families said that they were more likely than not to keep their kids out of public schools. 64% of the people in the survey support having a choice of whether to send their children to public school, private school, or home schooling. They support it. 53% were Asians, 50% African American, 36% Caucasians were in favor of it. That's interesting, isn't it? Among the 64% who supported having a choice whether to send their kids to a public school, private school, or homeschooling, 75% were Republicans. 69% live in an urban area. That's kind of interesting. People are getting used to homeschooling. Why is that? Well, check it out. California, like many other states, want to revolutionize public education. As an example, in California, there's a bill created that was passed, AB 329. And this bill changes the way K through 12 students learn sex education. The purpose of it was to ward off HIV and other STDs. They wanted to teach healthy attitudes towards sexual orientation, gender, and relationships, and to promote understanding of sexuality as a normal part of human development. Well, that sounds good. That sounds like something I would vote for. It sounds like something positive or productive, that's for sure. Guess what? It was a ruse. It was a fraud. You're not going to believe what's happening in these public schools. This new legislation. And California is not the only state. Several other states are looking to revamp their process. They want to teach grade schoolers and kids in junior high or middle school. They want to teach them sex education, Satan style. The bill allows for schools to teach children that homosexuality and transgenderism is perfectly normal. They want to teach the children how to mutually masturbate one another. They want to teach the proper method of masturbation and how to manipulate their own genitals. They want to teach them and understand that there are not just two genders, male and female, that there's dozens of them. And they want to teach them how to identify the different types of genders. And they want to focus on not having negative gender stereotypes. They want to teach things like blood play, dental dams, fisting. They want to explain to grade school and junior high children and high school kids the safest and proper methods of fisting. They want to help them with their anal sex, binary bathrooms, morning after pills, and the tremendous value of abortion. They want to show grade schoolers how to properly put on a condom, on a dildo, using props in the classroom to illustrate it. Are you listening? Wow. In 2 Peter, the great apostle itemized what kind of people we were going to be running into in the last days. He sure did. And here's what he said: having eyes full of adultery, they cannot cease from sin. What that means is they have sex addictions. They beguile unstable souls, and that's the school districts, loaded with unstable souls, and people who have hearts that have been exercised with covetous practices. They have cursed children, which have forsaken the right way and are gone astray. Since there's no discipline in public schools anymore, and the parents are living in chronic, horrible sin, sin is much worse now than it ever was before. Iniquity shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold, the prophet said. That's exactly what's happening before our eyes. Let me read out of one of these sex education books for you. Let me just read it to you. Here's one of the paragraphs. Serious or heavy petting is also known as foreplay because it often comes before intercourse. Okay, this is information for kids at your school, coming to your school soon. But foreplay can be enjoyable in itself and can lead to orgasm for both partners without having intercourse. In fact, few girls have orgasm through sexual intercourse alone. Often they need to have their clitoris touched at the same time. But make sure you read the check it out box on page 78. Foreplay includes mutual masturbation, rubbing and stroking each other's penis or clitoris. It also includes oral sex when one or both partners use their mouth and tongue to kiss and lick their partner's penis or clitoris. But don't feel you have to have oral sex if you don't want to. Not everyone enjoys it, and that's fine. Also, make sure you read about HIV/AIDS on page 101. Above all, remember that there are lots of ways to show you love someone. Having sex is only one of them. Okay, I just read you a page out of the book they give to grade schoolers and junior high school kids and high school kids about the new sex education curriculum. And friends, let me tell you that no wonder that survey I just told you about is focusing on homeschooling. A major scandal broke out with this thing in Marietta, California. That's not too far from Oceanside, north of San Diego, as you know. Half the community rose up protesting these new teachings, and there's been a major backlash to it in Marietta, California. They do not like Sacramento dictating to their communities what they consider to be pornographic material to teach to grade schoolers, junior high school kids, and high schoolers. There was a major battle erupted in Marietta. Marietta, believe it or not, is a conservative community. There aren't very many of them in California, obviously. But that's a conservative community in California you don't see very often. But you can see as the demons take command and total control of the educational system all over the country, you can see here how homosexuality, transgenderism, serial adultery, sexual perversion is going to flourish because Satan is attacking the young people. Why? He wants to put curses on them, just exactly like Peter said in 2 Peter chapter 2. These people have cursed children who have forsaken the right way and have gone astray. That's exactly what Peter said, and that's exactly what he meant. And we're seeing it with our own eyes. The way to curse all the children is to simply have the parents' demons lead them into sexual perversion and sin. The devil curses them, and they turn into sexual perverts, which is what California is trying to do, turn their population into a society of perverts. Do you have a sexual addiction? Yes, I do. I've counseled many people with sexual addictions. I've seen many people get delivered and set free. If you're a born-again Christian and you have a sexual addiction, 602-636-5800, you are eligible for free counseling services at the Arizona Deliverance Center. I would come now before it gets much worse. See you next time.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.